Hold the Doge. That's the rallying cry of what's going on in the crypto world right now. What does that mean? What is Dogecoin? And what in the world does Elon Musk have to do in the world of crypto? I've invited my friend Sully Sullivan from the Big Biz Show, seen in 30 million homes around the country, to explain this madness to us. Hey, Sully, how you doing?
Carlos, good to see you, bud. Always great to see you.
So what's going on with this? What is Dogecoin and why should anybody care about it?
You know, it's interesting that you asked that because you asked the perfect question. What exactly is Dogecoin and is it a good investment? And I can tell you, the simple answer is Dogecoin is an encrypted money, shared open source currency. And I know that sounds complicated, but basically, if you think in terms of dollars, as a closed source currency, a fungible currency. In other words, it can be exchanged with other dollars for similar, with the same value. Mm-hmm. Dogecoin's a little different, as are all cryptocurrencies. And really what makes it interesting is when countries lose faith in their own currency, think Venezuela, all right? Yeah. That causes the rise of something else to be used to pay for goods and services. That's how cryptocurrency really started, and that's why it's an important thing. Now, Dogecoin specifically started out, it was originally developed as a joke, and the prices jumped over, I don't know, what did I say the other day? If you had invested $1,000, okay, in Dogecoin on January 1st, you'd have close to $121,800 now, 12,000% increase. Here's what you have to understand, Carlos. The only thing that makes Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum go up is the same thing that makes stocks go up. More buying than selling. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the innate value of it. It's the perceived value of it.
So it's a free market. It's a free market model, which means that if the market says Dogecoin is worth 70 cents, it's worth 70 cents.
That's exactly right.
Because you can trade it, right?
Right. It's exactly right. It can be traded through the infrastructure, through the architecture let's clear up here. You got Coinbase here, which is a exchange it's like an account you can open, okay? Yeah. But the blockchain is the infrastructure that you trade upon. And I will tell you that blockchain is going to change everything, Carlos. It'll change the way we buy and sell real estate. It's going to change the way we buy and sell stock, but that's currently how it's sold, but you can buy it through a Coinbase. And yes, it can be traded. And I will tell you, this is here to stay, and I will tell you at the same time, when you think in terms of credibility, of course, Elon Musk is talking about it. He's got...
Yeah, he was on Saturday Night Live talking about it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
The more important play is when his publicly traded company, Tesla, started accepting digital currency for goods and services. And now you're seeing Goldman Sachs and Bank of America and Morgan Chase say, okay, let's dip our toe here. The biggest issue that we have here is the lack of governmental oversight. What caused our Great Depression after the crash of the Roaring '20s was the lack of financial oversight. In other words, we were selling 300% of Sully and Carlos's tequila factory when it was only 100% to sell.
Yeah.
And what the SEC and FINRA does is make sure that there's oversight. It is the Wild West with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and all digital currencies.
So let me stop you there. So are you saying that because the crypto guys are loath to be involved in any kind of regulation, they want the Wild West because they think they can bump these coins up to be worth millions of dollars. Is government regulation, whether it's US government, British government, French government, Mexican government, doesn't matter, Canadian, is regulation by all of these countries a good thing for the crypto space or a bad thing?
Well, I think moderate regulation is going to be a great thing because you want to know that if someone creates the Carlos coin, all right, that you want to know that if you invest in the Carlos coin and the Carlos coin goes up and your money is out there in the ether, that you can somehow have a liquidity event and get your money back. What's the point of investing? I mean, even if you're a buy and hold strategist where you buy it, hold it, cash it in later, what's the key word I'm looking for here? Cash in later. Yeah. In order to cash in later, it has to exist, and there's got to be some sort of an open source ledger to show that you purchased it, you own it, and now you're owed this much cash or you're owed this much stock. That's why regulators are there. Now, the problem is too much government regulation has gotten in the way of everything in the stock market, as you can see with the Reddit GameStop debacle.
Oh, yeah.
So I think a modicum of a regulation, Carl, is going to be necessary.
All right. So the other thing is the emotional roller coaster, because Wall Street, we know, is a very emotional place. They move up and down, whether there's something going on in the news or the president says something or something happens overseas, and it reacts. Is cryptocurrency subject to the same kinds of moods and swings?
Let's talk about the emotions of the stock market, because they are exactly the same as the emotions of cryptocurrency. You know, remember the song Feelings, Carlos? Nothing more than feelings, right? That about sums up.
Whoa,
that's it.
Sing along with me.
No, I'm not gonna. I can't do it there. Sorry, pal. That sums up the stock market on any day, on any given day.
Yeah.
Investment, return, and risk are joined at the gut. No pain, no gain, right? And above all, no free lunch. And ideally, we'd all approach investing, whether it's in stocks or digital currency, with a cool hand and a poker face.
Yeah.
But people, being people, emotions get in our way. So especially when real money is at stake here. And that's the piece of this thing. What's interesting is when you're looking at a stock or you're looking at digital currency and you're looking at the thing go up and down, you've got this, as it's going up, you got this optimism. And then the optimism turns into excitement.
Start buying.
Excitement turns into thrill. And then it turns into how smart am I, right? And then you have euphoria. And right at the peak of euphoria, by the way, is the point of maximum financial risk. Because that's when you get the scaredest, whether should I stay or should I go? And then all of a sudden, it starts dipping a little bit. Now you have anxiety. And the anxiety goes to denial, to fear, to desperation, to panic, to depression, to despondency, to capitulation. And that is the emotions of the stock market as it happens. And I think the same thing's going to happen with digital currency.
All right, as we wrap up, let's talk about the future. Put on your crystal ball, look into it. Do you think this will take over as the currency of our lives?
Let me ask you this, Carlos.
Wait a minute, I asked the question.
I know, but I'm going to answer a question with a question.
Okay.
When do you think the word iPhone came into our lexicon?
Oh my gosh.
20 years ago? No.
Yeah?
No.
No?
Like 15. The word iPad wasn't in our lexicon, but 11 years
It's
ago.
a little scary how that device changed our lives, right?
Well, this is the same thing. You are going to see digital currency as our currency in your and my lifetime. And I'm going to say, you're going to see more adoption in the next 5 years. And then from there, it goes up to the roof. Because why would we not have an open source currency that we can see? The problem is, who's going to last through this Wild West? Okay, we got to figure that part out. And once we figure that part out, it's going to happen. In the meantime, don't invest any money in cryptocurrency that you're not willing to lose. Just like don't loan any money to me and Carlos that you're not willing to lose forever.
Hold the Carlos coin. Sully Sullivan of the Big Biz Show. Thanks so much.
Brother.
Great information. Really appreciate your time.
See you, buddy. Love to you and Lisa.